In the bustling town of Bath, during the 1300s, there lived a woman named Alisoun. She was the most talented cloth maker in all of England. While others struggled with tangled threads, Alisoun's loom sang. She wove wool so fine it felt like a cloud, and dyed it in colors as bright as a summer meadow. Alisoun worked hard, and her business made her very wealthy and very proud. Alisoun wasn't just famous for her cloth, she was famous for her spirit. She had a loud, joyous laugh that could be heard from the market square to the riverbank. When she smiled, she showed a wide gap between her front teeth. In those days, people believed a gap-toothed smile meant a person was destined for travel and a life of adventure. Alisoun believed it too. One spring morning, when the birds were chirping and the flowers were peeking through the soil, Alisoun decided it was time for a new journey. She wanted to see the great cathedral in Canterbury. She didn't wait for anyone's permission. She put on her finest scarlet stockings, buckled her sharp spurs to her shoes, and prepared to lead her own way. Alisoun's horse was as sturdy and reliable as she was. She loaded her bags with supplies and enough coins to ensure she never had to depend on anyone else. She knew that some people thought women should stay quietly at home, but Alisoun had other ideas. She believed that every woman should have sovereignty, the right to make her own choices and be the master of her own life. She traveled to the Tabard Inn in London to join a group of other pilgrims. There, she met Harry, the cheerful innkeeper. Harry was a tall man who loved a good story and a loud joke. When Alisoun arrived, she didn't shrink into the corner. She sat right at the head of the table, her voice ringing out above the others. Among the travelers was a young scholar named Jenkin. He carried many old books and often talked about how things used to be in the past. As they began their ride toward Canterbury, Jenkin told Alisoun that life was simpler when everyone followed the same old rules. Alisoun just chuckled and adjusted her reins, ready to show him a different perspective. "Listen, Jenkin," Alisoun said, as they rested beneath a great oak tree. "A story is only as good as the person telling it. If women wrote the books, the tales would be very different." She explained that true happiness comes when people are allowed to choose their own paths, rather than being told where to walk. Jenkin listened, surprised by her strength and wisdom. The road was not always easy. At one point, a wagon in their group got stuck in a deep, muddy rut. While some of the men stood around arguing about what to do, Alisoun jumped down from her horse. She didn't mind the mud on her fine clothes. She directed the others, showing them exactly where to place the wooden planks to lift the wheel. As the spires of Canterbury Cathedral finally appeared in the distance, Jenkin turned to Alisoun. "I see now," he said. "You aren't just traveling to a city. You are showing us all how to be free." Alisoun smiled her gap-toothed smile. She had proven that she was more than just a cloth maker. She was a leader who knew the value of her own voice. Alisoun reached the cathedral, not as a follower, but as herself. She had traveled many miles, shared her wisdom, and stayed true to her belief in sovereignty. She knew that her journey would inspire others to speak up and stand tall. With the sun setting behind her, Alisoun of Bath rode forward, ready for whatever adventure her next choice might bring.